What's good, family? We back with another video. Before I get into the video, I want you guys to know, listen, God has placement in your life that he's trying to structure you in. You know, I know that we may think that sometimes when we scroll on the internet or when we come across certain type of people that it be by accident, but it really doesn't. God speaks to us through many things. Whatever has our attention, whatever we tend to have our attention more on, God can use anything. So when you on social media, when you in nature, whatever you like to do, be on the lookout, because sometimes seeing an animal, sometimes seeing a video, sometimes just coming, it can relate to your situation. And be careful to the people too. It could be a homeless person. It could, whatever you see repeatedly, pay attention to that, because God tells you and he could show you what's going to happen in your life before it actually happens. And it could be a lesson, it could be something he wants you to do, but just be mindful of that. Okay, family, so what I want you guys to know today, obedience is more important than sacrifice. Now, sacrifices is needed, but obedience takes discipline. What God wants you to understand, these doors that you want to be open require sacrifice and obedience. But obedience is important because being obedient is a major factor, because there's going to be a fight on your obedience. Because once you start to trust and believe in God, the devil would then try to disguise himself as God. He will, if you're a person who you can hear from God, the enemy will, because all of us have gifts, because I can hear from God as well, and I'm aware of it. So that's why I'm telling you, the enemy will disguise himself in the way that God talks to you. But you got to know how to test the spirit. You got to know you got to go get the clarity from God to see whether or not that's of God or that's of the enemy. Usually, like prime example, after a prime example, you will know depending on how you feel, depending on what's said. So it's important when you get into your purpose. This message right here is for the people who are in their purpose. When you get into your purpose and God is calling you to do things out of obedience, make sure that what you are being calling out of obedience to do is actually from God, because the enemy will also trip you up and make you fall into a trap by making you be obedient to the thing in which he wants you to do. So what I want you to understand is that is for the people who watch my channel, you know what I'm saying, who are in their purpose right now. Now, for my people who started off just like me, because I was once like, I'm in this situation and I started off like this. What I want you to understand is God is finna start pressing you to be in your purpose more. He's going to start pressing you to release yourself for certain people, to through certain friends and things like that. You're going to be in a season of isolation. He's going to let it go off one by one, sometimes two by two, however many he needs to do at a time. He's going to let you know. So you must, as a person, continue to allow yourself to be what God wants you to be in order so he can place you. I know it will be hard. Let me tell you something. Being in a season of isolation is very lonely. But when I'm going to give you a heads up. Once you get into your season of isolation, press on the things with God. Pray on things. Find two things. Start off by finding two things that you need God for the most, and pray on it daily. Pray on it daily, because it will give you something to look forward to, and it'll give you something to pray upon. By you doing those things and praying upon those things, you're building the habit of praying, and you're building the habit of connecting with God. So those are the two things that I want you to do. After you keep on doing it, actually look at yourself and just add on to things. That's how God moves. God, it will increase your prayer life. He will help reveal things to you what he wants you to get up and able to do by pressing you. So I want you to understand that pressing, when you start seeing your friends flop on you, seeing your friends be fake, or noticing things, people acting funny, just know that you're approaching a season of isolation. And it's important for you as a person to keep that in mind, because I promise you, once you know this, once you notice before you get into this position, it makes things a lot more easier. So don't run over with that. Don't let that go over your head. Go in already expecting, because you're building a connection with God. The enemy is going to always fight and have attacks attacking your unity with God. So just know this, family. When we talking about those of us who are coming to know God. God is showing us signs everywhere that he wants our attention and stuff like that. Listen, take heed, because you must have that mindset already. You got this, family. You hear me? You got this. I love you guys. You guys want to support me on my other platforms, on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. The link is right. Well, not the link. Just click the description and all my information. If you want to sow a seed into my ministry, I'm on PayPal, I'm on Cashapp. Everything is in the description. I love you guys. Peace.